Hey everyone, welcome back. And so far we have designed a simple rectangular microstrip patch antenna, and we have also scaled it. So I'm just going to get rid of the scaling factors real quick because we don't need them anymore. This particular video is going to focus on your results, which you may have noticed I've gotten rid of every single result that we have generated so far. Now that is because I want to have a complete new setup wherein we talk about results completely and focus on how exactly what we think about this particular antenna, right? So what we've already seen is the S parameters, which is right here, S parameter S11 TB. You report and you will get that. You also would want to get something like the VSWR, for example. You want to go ahead and get that, and you're free to do that. That'll be new report again, and then you would need the next one, which is your far fields report, 3D polar plot, and you would want to get the gain, so dB. The setup is up to you, so that's going to be my third. And you can also get a rectangular plot for your gain, which would look something like very similar to what we see in S11 because they are rectangular plots, but that way you would be able to see at which degree exactly you would see those spikes come up. That will be generated here, and apart from that you would also want to generate the different antenna parameters. So that you would have to come to radiation, select on one of these. I'm going to select azimuth, compute. Oops, there's no solution, that's why it's not going to work. So that would also be generated from there. And then last but not the least, you want to have the radiation pattern and gain your report. So this would give you the required results. So now all we have to do is simulate, analyze all, and one by one we'll go through each of these results and see what it means for us, right? So let's just wait for this to happen. In the meantime, we'll select for some more plots to go for. So let's see data table for the S11 as well. That will be coming up soon. So this would give you like the results, the exact values, which also can be, used as and when you would want to. But that also can be done by just exporting the results that would be formed, and that gives you a CSV file, which you can then go ahead and implement those CSV files into, let's say for example, Origin, which is one of those softwares where you get to bring these figures into much more cleaner and much more polished uh, diagrams for your project reports. So we are done with this. All those grayed out elements are now gone. So you would notice there's a dip at 2.4, which was originally as planned. You can also add a Y marker for let's just end marker mode and bring it to -10 exactly. So that would give us this VSWR as well. I would want to have an X marker rather for my frequency of choice. So that'll be here 2.4. Hit enter. So it's about 1.68, not bad. Although if you notice, there is, oh, it's like the least at this point. Okay, fine, then it is good enough. I thought that it was dipping further to the left. Anyways, then we have the gain plot, which we've already seen. It's 3.9 for 2.4 gigahertz. What you have over here is the same thing but in a different perspective. So what you see is for each phi sweep, so you would see phi moving from -180 all the way to, I would assume it is going till 180, although I'm not entirely sure where it's headed to. But whatever phi values are there, you would want to. So now the main intention for this particular graph is that eventually you'll be getting into sweeps. Okay, the next video is on that. But when we do that, you don't want graphs like this showing up. This is going to eat up your memory by a big amount and it's going to crash, and you want to avoid that. So what I would suggest you to do is modify this report, and what I want you to add here is max. Okay, so the max value that is there among all these angles, that is what is going to be showing up. In this case, something else happened. I'm pretty sure max over theta sweep. Okay, if we hit apply, why is the graph changing so much? Okay, we'll have to see on that. So I think it'll be better if we select right. I see what happened. Okay, we need it to be across phi. So max, the moment we do that, and max over theta sweep, it's automatically going there. So I'm just gonna go back, hit apply. So what do you notice now is that you would have a gain plot such that it matches with your sweep. In this case, what is happening is at minus 150 you have the highest gain of 4.006, which if we were to change this value to sweep, I would assume you would get something like that. Yeah, 4.0064, quite close, right? So sometimes, I mean, things do happen wherein I'm not able to understand what exactly that HFSS is trying to do. But in this case, sweep side, we're getting a rectangular plot. Now what will happen is eventually when you do sweeps or optimetrics, you would have bunch of different plots like this. Now this gives you the max for a particular sweep, let's say 2.4 gigahertz and some other variables, which of course you wouldn't understand what I'm saying right now. But as and when you go about with these changes, a lot of graphs would sort of sit on top of each other, like how you saw earlier, right? Like this. Now this could be a sweep for multiple different antenna parameters or variables that are being changed by you, right? So you would be able to identify what is the best case for your particular antenna. Now let's go on to the next one. You also have here, you would want to see the best possible gain plot radiation pattern. In this case, of course, it is showing up something like this for all the 5 values once again. And lastly, we also have S parameter table wherein you get to see the values that are present for each and every, across the sweep. You're going to see the values. Like in my case, you can see 2.4, it has a minus 11.9. As we go on, it dips again to minus 16 at 3.65. Right? And it again dips at 4.6 to minus 15.51. So this was more of a numerical approach to what we've been trying to achieve so far, right? So that is again one of those things that you need to take care of. And any other plots? Do we remember any other plots? Radiation pattern. Do we have anything left? Gain is done. dB was shown. Right. So another thing that you would want to see is definitely the parameters. Right. If you notice, peak directivity, peak gain, radiation power, accepted power. Over here, what you would want to get into, right, and what you would want to see is your radiation efficiency, right? How efficient exactly your antenna currently is. In my case, it is somewhere around 46.4%, right, which is multiplied by 10, or 0.4619, talking from 0 to 1, right? So this is where if you're looking to have a much higher radiation efficiency, then of course you would need to do steps that a lot of research papers already mention. So you could get into that as well, but this is how you can compute the different um, antenna radiation efficiency, or rather the parameters that we've been dealing with so far. And yeah, that's about it. I don't really recall any other plots that could go with this, although if there are any, then of course I would cover it in further videos. But this is basically how you would go about with your results and sort of analyze them one by one, and get into different sweeps, understand how exactly you're going about with your target frequency and so on, right? So a lot can go on with an antenna, or when you're working in a project environment, then a lot can be changed and you could achieve the right kind of antenna for your the application that you're going for, basically. So with that said, the next one's going to deal with the sweeps that I've been talking about, how exactly you're going to set it up and how exactly results change because of these sweeps. And when we do that, you will understand the value of the gain plots that I was talking about. These will not make sense anymore to us, right? So that's going to be part of the next one. So see you there.